Hey, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Carrie. Since we are soon approaching Valentine's Day, I thought I would do a little romance reading vlog. So the two books that I have picked out for today's video are going to be Kindle Unlimited books, so I just have them here on my Kindle. The first one's going to be Girlfriend Material by Katya Rose. It sounds like it's a best friends to lovers kind of story, a little bit of opposites attract, in that one of our main characters, Kate, is more of a hard-edged kind of person. She collects hearts and then stomps them underneath her combat boots, and she goes around believing that love and relationships are just a huge waste of time. And then her best friend is Allison, who is a bit more soft and sweet, and they're both in college at the moment studying fashion design, and Allison has made it her mission to secure her first girlfriend by the time that they graduate college, and that's soon approaching, and she's super clueless and has no idea how to date, how to flirt, any of it. So she gets in her mind that she wants her best friend Kate to be her romance coach. So then it's about them getting closer, and Kate teaching Allison the art of seduction, and maybe along the way they fall in love, or maybe they're already in love. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. And then the second one is gonna be When You Least Expect It by Haley Cass. And now I've had this one on my KU around my Kindle for a while. It's actually a Christmas holiday romance, but it's about Caroline Parker, who's one of Boston's most sought after divorce attorneys, but her romance life is kind of terrible. It's hot garbage. She has no romance life to speak of, and she doesn't really believe in romance around the holidays because she's gotten dumped 3 times by previous lovers, always around Christmas time. But then this year, she runs across Hannah Dalton on Christmas Eve, and she's like, oh, maybe things could be different, because this is the most beautiful woman that she has just ever laid eyes on, until she realizes that Hannah is straight, seemingly, and married to Caroline's work rival. Except one day, Hannah comes to Caroline, and she's like, hey, I want to hire you to be my divorce attorney. So in the process of Hannah going through her divorce, her and Caroline get closer and closer together and develop some feelings. And I just think this sounds like a lot of fun. With the other one, it being a best friends to lovers romance, I don't read a lot of those. I'm sure I've read more, but the only one that I can think of that comes to mind is Love Light Farms, that I read back in December. And to be honest, I really hated that book. I gave it a 1 star. It made me so irrationally angry. So I'm really hoping that Girlfriend Material is better. But I will get to reading these books, and I'll update you when I've got some more information to share. Hey, okay, so I'm back. You're gonna have to forgive me, because I know this lighting is terrible, but it's the only room in my house that I could find that didn't cast a horrible yellow tint. All right, so I'm about 65 pages into Girlfriend Material, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's a little cringy at times. It's definitely like a rom-com movie. It's a rom-com. But I always just kind of find rom-com writing to be more cringy and embarrassing than comedy. So, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I'm enjoying myself so far. So we've met Allison and we've met Kate, and then their other best friend, Miguel, who works at this vintage clothing shop with Kate. So Allison, who's the sweet one, the quirky, adorable one, she is just completely clueless about any charm that she might have. She's just always told that she's just the cute one, and it's pretty obvious when she goes to try to talk to any female that she's attracted to. She just completely shuts down. She stutters. She can't get a coherent sentence out at all. So it leads to some awkward moments where she just fumbles around and spills and drops anything that's near her. And then we have Kate, who's just drop dead gorgeous, and when she walks in a room, all heads turn and stare at her. But deep down inside, that's not what she wants. She's tired of people only seeing her for, you know, how beautiful she is. She wants them to acknowledge what a great personality she has and like see her for herself. So apparently something happened to Kate back in high school that we don't know about yet, but it's caused some like lingering, lasting emotional damage, and because of that, she just has sworn off relationships completely. She was fine up until recently with like casual hookups. It's honestly all that she was willing to do, and I guess at the beginning of this semester, she was like, no, I'm swearing off hookups completely. Like, I want to be celibate for a while because I think they were just making her feel really icky. And my cat's down here, sorry. She was just tired of people wanting her for only her body or only her looks. So she's kind of sworn off dating. But then Allison, on the other hand, is just completely obsessed and desperate to find love, to find a girlfriend. She came out when she was 17 or 18, and she hasn't had a girlfriend or dated anyone since she came out. And she just, you know, she knows that having a girlfriend doesn't confirm her lesbian identity, but she really still wants that experience. And so she's turned to Kate to help her find somebody. And there's this girl that's in their class with them at college. They're third-year students at a... Stop, Worm, please. They're third-year students at a costume design program at Montreal College of the Arts. And they've known this other girl named Cassidy since their first year, and Allison has just been infatuated with her ever since she first saw her. But she hasn't spoken to her in the entire time that they've gone to school together. Until recently, when at the beginning of the book, Cassidy sits at a table or like at a desk near Allison, and Allison just like stares at her and can't believe how close she is to her. It's so awkward, and she's like sewing this garment, and then like she's still trying to like push it through the sewing machine, and she's like not paying attention to what she's doing, and Cassidy's like, are you good? Are you good there? Like, what's going on? And then Allison's like, oh my God, and like rips it away. And of course that makes her like garment go flying, and then the spool of thread goes flying, and then she knocks over a container filled with sewing needles, and they go all over the place. And I'm like, oh my God, Jesus. And then Cassidy tries to help her, and Allison's like, no. She's so embarrassed. And then she's like, hey, I need you to help me. I can't even talk to women. Sorry, my cat is being obnoxious. And so then they end up having their first bar, and the three of them go to the bar together. It's Kate, Allison, and Miguel. And Kate's like, all right, we're going to do your first lesson, and all you need to do is like go and walk past this really cute girl that's over kind of near the bathrooms. Just like walk past her, maybe give her a compliment, and then go to the bathroom, and then like come back to us, and like that's all. Like don't try to do anything too crazy about it. And so and then Allison is like, all right, I got this. So she like chugs the rest of her drink, and she goes to walk back over, or walk to the bathrooms, and she like gets closer to her, she like squeezes through these two guys, and then she pops out, and she's like feet from this girl, and she just completely shuts down, and she just stares at her, and she can't like form thoughts or sentences or anything. And so then she's like, no, I can do this. And so she's like, I am going to be brave, and I'm going to go talk to this person who I'm attracted to. And so she takes a step forward, and she goes to like say, oh my God, I love your hair clips. And then some drunk guy from the bar turns around and stumbles into her and spills his beer all over her. And so then she's just like embarrassed, and she's like, oh my God. And then the guy's trying to help clean her up, and she doesn't like him being in her personal space. And so she goes to karate chop his neck, and he's just like, dude, what the heck was that? And then this girl that she was going to talk to is standing with all her friends, and then they all point and start laughing at her, and so then she's traumatized, and then Kate comes running over, and she quickly grabs Allison, and then they leave, and Kate comes to save the day. So then the next scene, they're back in class and working on their third year project. It's like the second big project before they graduate. They have another year to go, but I guess that's more like in the field work, actually going on sets and making clothing and like costume designs for productions and whatnot. So they're in class, and then Kate and Allison are just talking, and all of a sudden Cassidy walks up, and she's like kind of flirting with Allison and like trying to talk to her about embroidery and how she just really loves embroidery, and she's like, maybe we can get together sometime and like discuss embroidery. And Allison the entire time is just like staring at her, and she's like, oh my God, is Cassidy drunk? Does she know that she's drunk right now? Like, that's the only way that she would be talking to me, is if she was inebriated. Like, there's no way that she wants to talk to me otherwise. And so then like Cassidy leaves, and it was very obvious that she was flirting with her because she was like giggling and like flipping her hair around, and Allison just didn't pick up on any of it. And then once Cassidy leaves, Kate's like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, she was flirting with you. And Allison's like, what do you mean? No, she wasn't. She was drunk. And then Allison's like, no, you stupid idiot. She was flirting with you. Like, could you not tell? And Allison's like, oh my God, Kate, I need you to make sure that I get a date with Cassidy, because she's like my ideal elven dream pixie girl, and I'm so infatuated with her. And so Kate's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll help you out. But it's like kind of obvious, kind of not. It's like it's also like multi-perspective. So you're bouncing between Kate and Allison, and when we're in each of their heads, they're like, oh no, we're just friends. I'm not attracted to them. They're just not my type. I acknowledge that we would not be good relationship material. Like, we're just friends. But then when we're from like Allison's perspective and we're like watching Kate, it's like not so clear. It's like, oh, does Kate have feelings for us, Allison? She keeps like thinking she sees like some dark, deep pain in her, and I'm like, I don't know. So I guess, as we go along, we're gonna find out. Mom, I do apologize. I guess we're gonna find out what secret Kate has been keeping, but it's over. I'm enjoying it. Hey, all right, so I'm back. It's a couple days later, and I have since finished girlfriend material and started When You Least Expect It. But let's start with girlfriend material first. Overall, I gave this a 4-star. I thought it was pretty good. The writing was pretty decent. No real complaints there. It was pretty easy and accessible. The characters were fine. Kate kind of got on my nerves a little bit, but overall, I liked her. It did have 2 tropes in the story that I just personally don't care for. The first one being just a lack of communication, and thankfully it wasn't between Kate and Allison, the 2 main characters, the love interests. It wasn't between them. It was between Kate and her high school ex-boyfriend. And it would have been fine, I guess, because it wasn't like the main romance plotline. But the whole thing is that she overheard her ex talking with his stupid teenage friends, and he said something not really nice about her to them, and then she was really hurt by it, and instead of, I guess, confronting him or even talking about it at all, she just cuts him off. She doesn't talk to him. He doesn't understand, and so then he says more mean things, which, like, it's not cool on his part. But because of this nasty thing that she overheard him say to his friends about her, she then let this dictate how she moved forward with her life, and like it changed her entire personality until she was so unhappy with who she was as a person that it led into problems with her trying to date Allison. And that I don't like, because it's like, you're gonna let this stupid teenage boy just absolutely ruin your life and make you feel like you're not girlfriend material, that you're just someone that he taps and bounces, which apparently he didn't even think that at all. He was just saying it because he wanted to look cool in front of his friends, which is stupid. And so then, of course, when she later has a conversation with him, like years later, and so it's in the present, and it's causing problems with her and Allison being together, so she like has a conversation with the high school ex, and she's on the phone with him, and he's like stuttering through sentences and like, you know, doesn't seem really cool, I guess. She's just like, wait, I let this guy right here, I let him ruin my life? Wow. And I'm like, yeah, you were freaking dumb. Like, that was just stupid on your part. Like, you could have had this conversation with him years ago, or like not even let it bother you that much, and you would have been just fine. You would have been just happy. And you can see my cat in the back there. So yeah, that kind of drove me crazy. But thankfully, like, there wasn't any like lack of communication or like miscommunication trope between Kate and Allison. It was more so, they didn't really break up in like the third act. It was more so like, hey, I need to work on me, so before there can be an us. So I really appreciated that. And then I guess the second trope that I don't like is grand public displays or pronouncements of your love. I just, it gives me secondhand embarrassment, and I hate it. So that happened. But other than those 2 things, overall, I'd say the book was pretty good. I had a good time. There was at least one moment that I can think of that I actually laughed pretty hard. It was pretty early on, and it wasn't even between Kate and Allison. It was like Allison went on a date with somebody else that she'd been fawning over, and it was a weird date, but it was funny. So yeah, That was good. I guess I'd recommend it if you like friends to lovers, lesbian romances. And then I can never remember the title of this book. When You Least Expect It by Haley Cass is good. I'm just shy of 100 pages in, and it was really weird at first, and it was all because of like the writing style, and I don't even know how to explain what was weird about the writing, but it just felt it felt almost like clinical or like alien, and it was kind of off-putting, and I don't know if I've just gotten used to it and I like Stockholm myself into enjoying it, or if her writing has actually like improved the more she like was writing the book. But like where I'm at now, it doesn't bother me, so that's good, because writing is one of the like the biggest things. If the writing's not good, I can't get through the book. I tend to DNF books where I hate the writing. So I'm glad that I've moved past that and I'm enjoying it. So it's about our Caroline, the divorce attorney, and she is representing Hannah, who's getting a divorce from her ex-husband, Michael. And Michael and Caroline used to work together, and I guess they were rivals. And then he got a promotion that she really wanted and she should have deserved. So she like left the company, and then it's been like a year since then. And I guess Hannah's been trying to get out of this marriage for so long, but her ex-husband, Michael, is super manipulative and emotionally and verbally abusive to her, and so he's made it really difficult for her to secure any attorney, since he like knows everyone in town, and all the good ones are basically, you know, Michael's buddies. So Caroline's the only one that she's finally able to turn to take on her case. And I honestly thought that the divorce case would take place over the entire story, but actually it kind of like wrapped things up in probably the 30% mark, or 35% mark. I'm about 40% in now. So I guess the rest of the story is just going to be about Caroline and Hannah, because they've already gotten pretty close. They've like developed a friendship and a bond. And Caroline gets along really well with Hannah's daughter Abby, which I will say, I normally don't like the way children are written in books, especially in romance books, because I guess authors try to make them seem super cute and whatnot, but they, oh my god, they just come off so annoying, and I'm like, I could deal without this child here. But Abby, on the other hand, she's not annoying me. I kind of like her there. She's really freaking cute. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, I guess they're just gonna work on their friendship, and also where I'm at. I'm almost 50% in, and like, I know that this is a romance, but because I'm only reading from Caroline's perspective, it still feels very much like she's a lesbian crushing on Hannah, who's just absolutely straight. Like, there's been no indication that Hannah could be bisexual. So I'm like, is that gonna change anytime soon? I hope so. I assume so. Don't know when. Guess I'll find out. Hey, all right, we have some good news. It's the next day, and I have finished When You Least Expect It by Haley Cass. And oh my God, I loved this book so much. I gave it a 5-star. It was just so cute. And, you know, I kind of burned through it. I couldn't put it down. I had to know what happened next. It was definitely a slow burn, which I don't usually think are my type of romance, but when they do it good, they do it good. And Haley Cass did a really good slow burn romance. And I think that the way she took them from being just mere acquaintances to friends to best friends, and then I guess lovers, or like in a relationship, even though the relationship doesn't really like technically begin until the very end of the book. I enjoyed almost every moment. Like I said before, the beginning was a little weird, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but I would say probably like 20% in. I couldn't put her down. I just wanted to know more. And I had a great time. Sorry, let me try and get some more coherent thoughts. So there was this thing that the author did that I really haven't seen before in other romances. So this book takes place over the span of a year. We start out in December of one year, right around Christmas, where they meet again for like the first time since Caroline has moved to a new law firm. And then Hannah hires her to be her divorce attorney. Doesn't really hire her because she doesn't have the money, and so Caroline's really nice and she does it pro bono. And then we start moving forward, and it's like pretty much each chapter is 1 month of the year. And the way she starts out each chapter is she like mentions like a random holiday in that month. So, and like the first chapter was like, you know, Christmas time, and then it kind of went to New Year's. And then the next chapter was like, what is it? President's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, one of those two. And then like the next chapter is Valentine's Day. And like, it doesn't span just that single day, but like she starts it out by saying, and like on this holiday, and explaining what they did. And then it like, you know, sometimes a couple weeks will skip by, or a couple days. And I really enjoyed that because, you know, it felt like their friendship was actually developing as like the year went on, and they got to know each other more. And I appreciate that large time span instead of just having a book set over like maybe 3 weeks, and then you're just supposed to believe that these two people fell in love in the span of like 5 days. So I really enjoyed that. It ends on Christmas of like this new year. So, or right around where the holidays are starting, around like Thanksgiving into December is when like the book kind of starts to slow down. And it's like, I think the last 100 or so pages span over, probably less, like the last 80 pages of the book take place over like the holiday season, which is like a big deal for Caroline because she normally hates the holidays. And it just, I really like that. I felt it did a good job of making me believe that they actually became friends and they meant something to each other. And it was just it was so cute. It was so cute, you know? Oh, and then even though the relationship doesn't technically start until like the very end of the book, there were just so many mundane moments between like Caroline and Hannah, or between like Caroline and Abby, Hannah's daughter, or like between the three of them, or like over the year, Hannah and Abby basically became enfolded into Caroline's family, and that was really cute. And Caroline's parents just like adored her, and Abby got along with all of Caroline's nieces and nephews because they were all, you know, roughly in the same age range. And it felt like it became a family over the year, and it was so cute, and I got to like see it. So like I felt like their romance, or like their relationship was actually like slowly developing before they even like admitted to each other. They're like, hey, I'm in love with you. So it was great. It was cute. I would highly recommend this. Oh, and there's one other thing. So there's also a companion novella that goes along with this, and I do believe that companion novella is from Hannah's perspective. And I don't know if it's like set in the future, like after they've already decided that they're together, or if it's like the year of them falling in love from Hannah's perspective, because I would really love that. I think that would be so much fun, having her go from thinking that she's just absolutely straight to realizing, maybe I'm not. And they have like a little discussion between Caroline and Hannah about Hannah's feelings towards women, and it never really states whether she's like bisexual or pansexual or something else. So I'm hoping it's not just oh, I'm only gay for you, because I don't know how that settles with me. But I'm gonna choose to believe that she is just attracted to all women, and she didn't realize how much until she came across Caroline. That was like a little gay awakening story. But yeah, it was a good book. I'd recommend it, you know? But I think that's gonna wrap up this video. I had a good week reading both girlfriend material and When You Least Expect It. Definitely this one more than girlfriend material. That one was still fine, still like a solid 4-star. I just can't compete with When You Least Expect It. Yeah, and that's fine. Not every book has to be 5-star favorite romance. There's probably a lot more romances that I didn't like than the ones that I actually do love. But yeah, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you had a good time. I had a really good time making it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.